Hi, I'm Claudia Einecke. I'm the Curator of European Art at the High Museum. I want to thank you for sending us your interesting questions, and I'll try to answer them, hopefully in an interesting way as well. This is a really good question, but to be honest, a museum career never really was on my radar when I was going to school. But just as I was finishing my dissertation in art history, a friend of mine nudged me into applying for a curatorial position. And in the process of interviewing and actually getting the offer, everything became crystal clear to me, and well, I haven't looked back since. Well, there are many day-to-day scenarios. I spend a lot of time writing and answering emails and attending meetings, but I also interact with patrons and donors, and I try to keep up with what's happening in the art market. And I do research for exhibitions or on the collections. But the really most fun part of the job is when we do installations, either exhibitions or collection rotations, because then you get to deal with works of art in a very direct and hands-on way. Actually, I don't have one favorite artist. It always depends on my mood or the circumstances. But this being said, I'm always up for looking at Henri Matisse, because there's something so joyful about most of his work that really appeals to me at any time and always raises my spirits. I'm working on an exhibition for 2023, which is about the dangers and the wonders of the sea. And the very long working title is Perils of the Deep, Monsters, Mermaids, and Shipwrecks, from the Age of Exploration to the Age of Fantasy. But it really describes the project quite well. We also received a few questions about the current Calder Picasso exhibition. And here we are in the galleries, and I tried to answer them. The exhibition started as a conversation between the two grandsons, the two artists' grandsons, Bernard Ruiz Picasso and Sandy Rower. And from there developed into an exhibition because they saw connections between their grandfather's works. This exhibition was seen in Paris by the director of the Musée Picasso in Paris, who then expanded the exhibition so that it could be shown at the Musée Picasso in Paris and then also at the Picasso Museum in Malaga. Then this exhibition was seen at the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston, and he decided to recreate some of that exhibition for a US tour, which has 3 venues. It started earlier this year in San Francisco, is now here at the High, and will be going to the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston afterwards. One of my favorite pairings in the exhibition is between Picasso's Woman in an Armchair from 1947 and Calder's Constellation of 1943. I just love the way both works play with the tension, push and pull tension between the thin straight lines and the larger organic shapes. Calder and Picasso only met 5 or 6 times in person, but of course they knew of each other and of each other's work, and certainly paid attention to how that was developing. But they never became friends or frenemies or mentor and pupil the way we have this in other pairings in the history of art. Here we are in the Doris and Shauki Shaheen Gallery of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist art, because we just recently received 2 additional paintings to go into this gallery. A wonderful oil by Pierre Bonnat and a very charming pastel portrait by Mary Cassatt, and they will go on view in this gallery next month in mid-September. Well, to that I would say, come back with a question: have you been to the museum lately? Because nowadays most museums really offer a lot more than just the passive art viewing possibilities and opportunities. There are different kinds of performances, from music, dance performances, There are activities that people can participate in, like art making activities, not only for children but also adults. So I would really think that a museum can offer something interesting for anybody. This is a question from Catherine, my former curatorial assistant. And of course my answer is Catherine. Thank you again for your very interesting questions. It was really fun thinking about some of the issues that you raised. And I do hope that you come visit us at the High anytime, many times. See you there.